And we're live.
Welcome back, everyone. Episode 63 of Kids Deserve It. We hope you've been enjoying our weekly chats with educators and game changers from around the country. Also, don't forget, you can check us out on iTunes.
We also want to remind you of our little competition that we have going on iTunes right now, where if you go to our iTunes page and leave a review on our account for any of the episodes you've listened to, we'll be awarding different autographed books and things to those guests.
Also, don't forget, you can check us out, our Kids Deserve It chat on Wednesdays at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time, 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and check out Todd's Periscope right before the chat at 7:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. This week, we have another amazing guest, but first, we want to introduce ourselves. I am Adam Welcome, Director of Innovation and Technology in the Bay Area of California.
I'm Todd Nesloni, elementary school principal in Navasota, Texas. And our special guest this week is Eric Qualman. Eric, thank you so much for being here with us this week.
Thank you for having me. It's an honor to be here. Keep doing the great work that you guys do. The kids deserve it. Really appreciate it.
Awesome. Well, we also want to remind our viewers to participate on social media using the hashtag #KidsDeserveIt, as we always love seeing the things from different episodes that stand out to you.
So, Eric, we have a few questions for you. So, for those who don't know about you, can you tell us about yourself?
Yeah, high level, I'm a #1 best-selling author and a motivational speaker. So I'm traveling the world. I've been to 47 different countries to spread my message, which is primarily digital leadership, or a thread of that across the 5 books that I've written. And it's been fantastic to be able to reach 25 million people this decade. A lot of that's in person, and then a lot of that I own an animation studio that we do mainly 3 and 4D animation. And so a lot of our videos have gone viral, so that's been helpful as well.
Nice.
Awesome. Well, I know you mentioned you're a best-selling author, but you were also voted the 2nd most likable author in the world after J.K. Rowling. How does it feel kind of to hear things like that? And then on a second part of that, what book are you probably most proud of writing?
It's an honor to be considered the 2nd most likable author. I will say it was a distant second. My mom even said, who's a huge Harry Potter fan, said that she voted for J.K. Rowling. So obviously to be in the same breath is just an honor and keeps me going, keeps me motivated. My favorite book is probably What Happens on Campus Stays on YouTube, just because I can see the impact it has on kids that are 12 years old to 22. Just to understand that it's about producing your best online and then protecting it. So a lot of people come in with a wag of the finger, and what we wanted to do is cover that piece, which is the protection piece, but more importantly, wanted to open their minds up by allowing them to produce their best. So if we can showcase this is how you produce your best, this is how you get more followers, this is how you get more likes, then we could layer on that protection piece. And both of them are very important. So that's my favorite book in terms of just the impact I can see it firsthand with students.
Nice. So, Eric, what is something you've accomplished this year that you're really proud of?
So right now I'm going through the focus project. So a lot of us have a difficult time focusing, and I've talked to principals, to presidents, and they've struggled with it, and I struggle with it myself. So I just wanted to hyper focus on one thing a month. And so the first month was to do sales. This month is all around organization. So it's just been a nice breath of fresh air to clean up my entire desktop and also clean up the house. Just do those things that you've always had on the to-do list to get more organized. Because the research shows if you are more organized, you will be more productive. So it actually pays to actually get as organized as possible.
That's great. So I know you mentioned that you are a motivational speaker who goes worldwide. Has speaking in front of crowds always been something that's been fairly easy for you, or was it something you had to really grow in?
You grow. It's a growth thing. And I just talked to a guy yesterday that I went to school with in college, and he goes, if I had to bet $1 million on who would be a public speaker, it would not have been you. Because I still struggle with it. I mean, I mumble just out of natural tendency. And so for me on stage, obviously it's a little different because you're on, but even off stage now to try to get that diction down. And it's interesting just doing some research. You look at Barbara Walters, I mean, Bill Walton, how do these guys, Lou Holtz, they overcome lists, they overcome this stuff to be folks that are broadcasters of all things. So sometimes you can change that weakness into a strength. And so it's a learn process. I learn every time I'm on stage. It's something I've been doing since I've been in 8th grade when I ran for student council president, and then I was Toastmasters president in college. So it's something that I've always enjoyed, but it's not something that I had a goal set. I'm going to be a public speaker and get paid to do it.
Right.
But I learn every time I'm out there. The #1 rule in public speaking is actually to end early. That's the #1 rule in public speaking, just end early.
Interesting. Interesting. So what was school like growing up for you, Eric?
I was blessed. I grew up in the same school system throughout my 18 years, and then I went in-state to university. I went to Michigan State. So I grew up outside of Detroit to a very good school, middle-class school. So I was very blessed. Didn't have to worry about too much things like a lot of kids have to worry about. And so I was very blessed, and went to undergrad at Michigan State University. So it was a really, really fun process throughout my whole education.
So did you like school growing up?
I did. Like, there's parts that you don't like. There's certain subjects that you don't like, and you always have some classes to where you might be, it's kind of weird because you might have all A's in all your classes. Then in one class, you're the kid that's sitting in the hall that's being disruptive, and you're scraping by to get a D. So fortunately, I did enjoy school. I did pretty well in school, but occasionally I would have just the wrong mix sometimes, whether it was subject, teacher, combination. Me, obviously, I'm usually the one that's the consistent person there. But I would say that for the most part, I did enjoy it. I enjoyed the social aspects of it. But there's days that was tough. Whether, just like any kid, you go through certain things. You don't want to see a certain person in the hallway, or you're getting bullied, or you're bullying. You're just on each side of the equation. You kind of learn as you go.
So is what you're doing now something that you kind of always had a dream to do, or was there another path that you had assumed your life would take?
It's interesting. I've written some fiction books. I haven't done quite too amazing. I've only gotten one out there. And so in my DNA, as I always had like a dream after college, even though I didn't study it, I studied business, I thought it would be cool to write fiction books. So that helped me prepare for what I'm doing in terms of writing business books. And then once I got on stage and was able to empower people, then I realized, okay, this is the mission. I really get this. And then now I'm at mile 1 of a 26.2 mile marathon race. And so my end laughable goal, and I talk about this in the books, you got to set laughable goals. And they're called laughable goals because most people are going to laugh around you when you say them. And the people that don't laugh, those are the people that you're going to stand on their shoulders to get to that goal. And so my laughable goal, we're at mile 1, is to actually have an impact like Walt Disney has had, where long after he's passed, he's had a much greater impact than presidents, if you think about it, is that we want to have that kind of an impact, whatever that looks like. But for now, so you have a vision, it's like, let's build the next Disney World. Why isn't there another Disney World? Everyone loves Disney World. Why don't you build another one? So again, we're at mile 1. That's the laughable goal, to get to 26.2.
Nice.
Awesome. So all of us have those days that are tougher than others. So when you're having one of those rough, I don't even want to get out of bed days, what do you kind of do to kick your butt into gear and bring your best anyway?
Fake it till you make it. So that's not a bad thing to do that. There's neuroscience that shows if you smile, it's going to make you happy. And so motion creates emotion. So get up, start moving, and then tackle the things that don't take as much brain power. So I used to have goals of I've got to write 500 words, and then that was self-defeating. So per day now I just go, I got to write for a half hour. Whether that's one word or whether I crank out 2,000 words, it's just kind of keeping with it and keeping that momentum going. So try to pick the things that are a little easier to do that have been on your to-do list if you're just not in the mood that day. And so that's what I'd say. Do the stuff that's a little easier those days.
Nice. So what is something you're working on getting better at for 2017 this year?
Yeah, so I mentioned it earlier. A lot of it's around focus, just trying to say no. So I'm getting better at just saying no. It's been a great relief actually this first month, because I'm getting pinged where I'd normally go, oh yeah, that sounds good. Maybe I'll do that. Now I just go, hey, does this involve me getting on stage or helping somebody? If it doesn't, then can we circle in 12 months when I'm done with these projects?
Well, thanks for saying yes to us for the show. We appreciate it.
Yeah, you're in the bucket. No, I said if you're helping people, that's the key, right? You got to serve first. And so that's why these guys are putting in the time and effort to help the people that need it, the leaders of tomorrow. So it's an honor to be here. So that's why I said, okay, if we can help people or it's getting me on stage to help people, then we're in.
Got it.
Well, Eric, one of the ways that I was introduced to you were your socialnomics videos. I love them and the way they're just designed and the information they provide. How did that kind of come about of you creating those?
So I was on stage to present on the book Socialnomics. And it's funny because the publisher goes, hey, we want you to speak. So I get up there and I get off the stage and there's an agent there. He goes, wow, you should do this for a living. I go, you can do this for a living, get paid to speak? And they go, yeah, that's a huge business. I go, I have no idea. So that started that process. But I'd shown a video that had helped kick things off. It was kind of a did you know video. And then I realized that I needed to really hyper target this to social. So then I decided to create my own. So I wrote a script, fooled around a little bit with Adobe After Effects, then grabbed actually an MIT student. I was up in Cambridge at the time. So grabbed an MIT student that could do the software a little better than I could. And then we posted it out there. Mainly I was going to use it to present, open my keynotes. And then away we go. That thing takes off and goes viral. Now, it wasn't by accident. By no means do I know the recipe for things going viral. Otherwise, I would have helicoptered down to you guys and we would have had some champagne toasts.
There we go.
I gave it a chance knowing that it might have a chance to go viral. The main thing I did is I didn't over promote myself in there. And the publisher said, I don't understand why you create this video. It's not going to sell any books. And I go, because it's not about me. It's about the audience that's going to view it. That's why you got to create value. And then if they take it somewhere, great. If not, no worries. We've got a good video to kick off our speeches.
I love that.
Nice.
So who is somebody that inspires or challenges you to be better, Eric?
Oh man, you've got obviously my support staff around me. My parents are amazing, so they're always there and will tell you how it is. So it's good that I'm very fortunate to have them and my grandparents, so that they always tell me exactly where I'm headed and give me a true bounce. So you need to have people that can actually tell you, hey man, you have a poppy seed in your teeth, or this isn't the course. We don't think you're doing your best effort over here. Tom Izzo, I was fortunate to play basketball at Michigan State University, so I was more of a water boy. I got cut from my team as a junior in high school. And so I became the manager, which is another term for water boy at Michigan State. And then during the course of that, I finally eventually walked on, got 3 teeth knocked out in the process. But I think Coach Izzo loves that stuff. So I kept playing during the practice, even though I was the water boy. They said we needed some extra people. So I was in there and got my teeth knocked out and just kept playing. And that's a whole other story.
Wow.
But eventually walked on and got a scholarship there. And so Coach Izzo's always there to drive. And one of his quotes is, you think you're tired, but you're not. You only think you're tired, right? You only think you're tired. You're not tired. Push it another level.
Keep going. Keep going. All right, Eric. Every week we like our guests to leave a challenge for our viewers. What is your challenge for the week?
I love this. The challenge for the viewers for this week is I want you to define what's your one word for the next 12 months. So what is that one word? For an example, mine's empower. I just want to empower people. Take that one word. If you can make it into 1 to 2 sentences, do it. Mine's entertain, educate, and empower people to achieve their best life, leadership, and legacy. So figure out what your one word is. Definitely feel free to email me that. It's equalman@equalman.com. But just what is your one word?
Nice.
I think that is a great challenge. Well, Eric, thank you so much for giving us some of your busy time and coming on our show tonight. You have been somebody that I have been hoping to get on the show for quite a while, so I'm thrilled that we finally got a chance to chat with you.
Keep doing what you guys are doing, man. Leading tomorrow's leaders. I really appreciate it. We need more people like you out there just cranking it. So if I can help in any way, let me know, and look forward to seeing you guys in person here soon.
Thanks,
Awesome.
Eric.
And I want to thank everyone for watching the show. And remember to tweet us using the hashtag #KidsDeserveIt. We also want to encourage you to go to iTunes and leave a review, as we will select a winner every week to receive an autographed copy of Kids Deserve It. Hope everybody has a great week.